everyone. This is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from sacredsoulempowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, March 18th through Sunday, March 24th, 2019. For this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Fairy Tarot deck by Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. So let's go ahead and take a look at your stones of choice to start. Now this is an important week, by the way, because we're going to have the sun moving into Aries, which is the Spring Equinox. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and the Spring Equinox is a time of new beginnings, right? A time where we plant seeds and those seeds start to bloom. So I chose some very special stones of choice for the week. Your first stone of choice is a Lemurian seed crystal. And not only is it a Lemurian seed crystal, which is very special in and of itself, but it's actually a bridge crystal. I don't know if you can see, there's a little point here. As I turn it on the camera, I guess this is the best way to see it. That little crystal within this large Lemurian crystal. And this is why it's called a bridge crystal, because this crystal is helping to bridge from one reality to another. Or you can look at it bridging the past and moving out of the past and bridging it into the future as we move forward into the Spring Equinox energy. Now, the Lemurian seed crystal, of course, is a very special crystal that has old ancient information encoded in it with all of these striations that are in it. The striation patterns have old ancient encoded memories and messages and, again, information that helps us to move forward on our path. And that bridge part of the crystal, that little crystal within a crystal, helps to bridge us from one kind of reality to another, from one energy to another, from one dynamic to another. Your second stone of choice is a chrysocolla egg. And I know it's a little dark out here, it's getting later in the afternoon, but this chrysocolla egg is green and blue. It's almost a turquoise color, like turquoise. This reminded me of the planet Earth, although it's not totally round, and I'm sure the planet Earth isn't totally round, but it is more of an oval egg shape. But it reminded me of like Mother Earth and the planting of those new seeds. You know, that's how we have things grow here on this planet, is we plant the new seeds in the springtime, and those new seeds, as they're nurtured with water and love and care and sunshine, start to grow. So I chose this chrysocolla egg to kind of signify or symbolize the planet Earth and the planting of new seeds as we move into the Spring Equinox time period, the sun moving into Aries this week. And then your last stone of choice is a citrine cluster crystal. So the citrine is a stone of abundance and prosperity and blessings, and you know, it really helps to expand that prosperity and abundance dynamic. This is also a stone with that golden yellow color that vibrates to the solar plexus chakra, which is your center of personal power. And as we move out of the Pisces energy and into the Aries energy with the Spring Equinox, this is about us taking our power back, owning our power, standing in our power, and starting to make this abundance and prosperity and blessing energy start to happen. So again, your stones of choice are the Lemurian seed bridge crystal, the chrysocolla egg, or the citrine cluster. So let's start by talking about the astrological energies of the week. We start out on Wednesday, the 20th of March. And Wednesday, the 20th of March is a big day. There's actually 3 things happening on this day. First, we have Mars, the planet of energy and action, which is currently in Taurus, which kind of slows down the movement of energy or the situational unfolding of energies. It kind of slows it down with Mars and Taurus. It actually is it's a good placement, because Mars being the planet of forward movement in that earth sign of Taurus, Taurus is persistent and determined and will take things step by step and will never give up, because it's a fixed sign, meaning it's a little bit more stubborn in getting things done. So it's good, it just doesn't unfold really quickly. And of course, you know, we are still in a Mercury retrograde time period, so that's okay. It gives us time to plan, it gives us time to organize with that Mars and Taurus energy, and it gives us time to take things step by step and not go too fast. But Mars and Taurus is actually in a positive connection to Pluto. And Pluto is the planet of power, transformation, death and rebirth, and change. And what better planetary energy to speak about during the spring equinox than death and rebirth? It's really, as the sun moves into Aries, it is all about death and rebirth. We're moving out of that Pisces energy, that last sign of the zodiac, and we're moving into the sign of new beginnings, of planting those new seeds. So again, first we have Mars trine, or in a positive connection to Pluto, on Wednesday the 20th, which is going to help bring this positive transformation or this positive movement forward, and especially in the realm of third dimensional reality, because again, Mars is in an earth sign Taurus, Pluto is in an earth sign Capricorn, which is all about, where we live and our money and our property and our career and our life path. It's all those tangible earthly types of things. So we can see this transformation unfold and start to take place with that. Now, we just talked about the sun moving into Aries for the spring equinox. This also happens on Wednesday the 20th. Okay, so first Mars connects with Pluto, then the sun moves out of Pisces and into Aries. So this is a big deal. We should definitely put out, even though we usually talk about putting intentions out during a new or full moon, which we'll actually get to a full moon cycle here in a minute. But during the spring equinox, this time of new beginnings, this time of new birth, we want to actually plant our seeds now in the garden, in the backyard here. Plant those seeds and water them and nurture them and let the sun shine upon them and let them grow into something over the course of the weeks to come. Okay, now the last thing that happens on Wednesday the 20th is actually a full moon. So we have a full moon at 0 degrees of Libra, meaning the moon is at 0 degrees of Libra, and we know, because we just said, the sun just moved into Aries, so the sun is opposite the moon at 0 degrees of Aries. That's what makes up this full moon energy. Now, full moons are about completion and about endings and releasing and letting go after that full moon comes to its culmination. So isn't it interesting that we have the sun moving into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and a sign of new beginnings and new growth and new birth, and then we have a full moon at 0 degrees of Libra, signifying a completion, an ending, a releasing. And the other significant thing about that full moon is at its 0 degree point. And the 0 degree point of any sign of the zodiac is new beginnings again. It's the first degree of any particular sign. So now we're back to this new beginning with the 0 degree point. So this cycle, this week, is going to be a lot about endings and new beginnings in a lot of various ways, whether it be physically or emotionally or mentally or spiritually speaking. This is a big, important week. And then on Thursday, the 21st, we have Venus, the planet of the divine feminine, the planet that rules relationships and money and finances. It's in Aquarius right now, and it's making a challenging aspect to Mars and Taurus. And Mars is the divine masculine. We have Venus ruling women, Mars ruling men, or again, that masculine feminine energy. And they're in a conflict right now. They're in a little bit of a conflict. And with Venus being in Aquarius, Aquarius is a fixed sign, meaning it has a stubborn energy to it. And we already said that Mars is in Taurus, which is a fixed sign, and it has a stubborn energy to it. And because they're in a challenging connection, we might find that there's some sort of challenge within relationships, whether they be romantic, business, family, friendship, where people hold a particular stance or opinion or energy dynamic, and they don't want to kind of give up on that. They don't want to bend on that. They are very fixed and stubborn in that energy, which ends up sometimes causing conflict if two or more people are on opposing ends as far as belief systems or, what have you. Now, this can also cause some possible challenge in a financial or money situation. Again, Venus does rule the sign of Taurus. She rules Taurus and Libra. So Venus, as the ruler of Taurus, Taurus rules money and personal resources, and we already said that Mars is in Taurus, the sign of personal resources. So we have this money thing going on there too. So again, look for possible challenges in relationship situations or financial circumstances. And then on Sunday the 24th, Mercury retrograde in the sign of Pisces is connecting to Neptune. I was almost going to say positively connecting. But, with a conjunction, this is what two planets coming together at the same degree is called a conjunction. It can be either positive or not so positive. And because I almost slipped and said positive, I'm going to intend that this is a positive energy. Remember, Mercury rules the mind. It rules our thoughts. So if you intend for this to be a positive experience, then it will more than likely play out as a positive experience. If you have more of a negative mindset because it's Mercury retrograde and it's in Pisces and Neptune is this elusive, kind of confusing kind of energy where things are unclear, that means that mentally or with communication with other people, things might be unclear or not firm or solid, or there's no clarity, basically. If you have that intention, then that's probably what your experience is going to be. And even if that's your experience anyway, even though you intend for this to be a positive connection, it's, again, your thoughts and belief systems. And if you stay positive, such as there's a reason for everything. So if there is miscommunication, if there is, like, I'm confused about what decision to make or which way to go on a particular situation or in a circumstance, if you have the positive intention that there must be a reason for it and everything's going to work out because the universe is divinely guiding me, then some sort of solution is going to appear. Some sort of solution or a new idea or a message will come in. Again, Mercury retrograde is famous for messages coming in, like, misinformation. This is why there can be miscommunication, because there's not all the information there. So there's new information that's coming in, and the information could very well be on a spiritual level through your angels and guides, through your own intuition, because of that Neptune influence. Mercury and Neptune are also very creative and very imaginative, and it is in the sign of Pisces, which is also a very artistic, creative, imaginative, spiritual kind of sign. So this can be really good for, like, writing or meditating, or if you're doing some sort of spiritual class or workshop, whether you're the student or the teacher, that kind of thing. It can be a very positive experience, okay? And again, in your meditation, Mercury and Neptune can be very psychic and very intuitive. So I would do, like, automatic writing, or just silencing your mind and listening to what your angels and guides are saying, or what your higher soul self is saying. Those are going to be very important messages for you. Okay, so that's all that's going on astrologically. So let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides from the Fairy Tarot deck. I haven't used this deck in a while, and I chose the Fairy Tarot deck because, again, we're in the Spring Equinox. So what better time for the fairy realm to awaken, all of the fairies and the gnomes and everything, than the first day of spring, right? So let's go ahead and turn over the first card. And for those of you that watch my videos, I normally choose 3 cards, but oftentimes there's double cards that come out when I choose a card, or double cards that fall out of the deck, which definitely was the case this week. So we actually have a total of 4 cards here to look at. So the first card, turning that over, this, couldn't be more perfect. This is Major Arcana 0, the Dreamer, which in the traditional tarot is the Fool card. And the Fool card being that first tarot key, the first major arcana, even though it's a 0, it's about new beginnings. Here we have a fairy, or the Fool in the traditional tarot, starting a new path, just getting ready to embark on this new journey, a new path. Now, the message at the bottom says, embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. And oftentimes with the Fool card, it is often shown in the traditional tarot, the Fool is like jumping off of the cliff or stepping off of the cliff. And he's stepping off of that cliff with trust, because he doesn't know how far down he's going to fall, or if he's going to fall at all, or if there's going to be something below him to catch him. And in this case, we have a fairy starting down a new path. And this fairy, and this dreamer, the dreamer, they don't know where this path is going to lead. They kind of can see way off in the distance that it's leading to some sort of structure, but they can't see clearly what that structure is, or how solid it's going to be, or what exactly it's going to entail. But they're just going to trust that if they follow the path, and they trust and have faith that they're going to get to the destination, whatever that might be. And they're starting out on this new beginning, this new journey. And with the Spring Equinox, we're starting out on a new journey, energetically speaking. It's, we think of January 1st as the new year, the first day of the new year. But in astrology, the Spring Equinox is the first day of the new astrological year. because again, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So the first day that the sun moves into Aries is the true astrological new beginning. And it's really a time, again, to begin a new adventure, to have some sort of new birth, to plant some sort of new seeds, to go in a new direction, to follow a new path. And trust your intuition, trust your guidance of what that is all about. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. Oh, I love it. Okay, the second card is another new beginning card. It's the Ace of Autumn. And in this deck, the fairy deck, the Ace of Autumn, or the Autumn suit, is the suit of Pentacles, or the suit of Discs, which is all about the third dimensional realm. Again, it's a tangible new beginning. The aces are always about new beginning. But if we had, say, the Ace of Cups, the Cup suit is about our emotions. So it would be a new beginning on the emotional level. This is a new beginning on the physical level because it's the Autumn or Pentacles or Discs suit. And so with this tangible new beginning, it can be a new beginning with money or finances, a new beginning with career or life path, a new beginning with buying property or selling property or moving across the country or moving next door. You know, it's something that's very tangible. New beginning with projects that you're working on. It's some sort of new beginning that's of a tangible nature. Now let's go ahead and read what's at the bottom of the card. I love it. It says, a windfall of money, advice, or assistance from others. I like that. I'm going to read it again. A windfall of money, advice, or assistance from others. A very successful project. A happy change in your career. And I'm going to add too, not just a happy change in your career, but also a happy change in a money or financial situation, a happy change in your life purpose direction, you know, happy change in your family situation. It's, again, anything that's tangible here. So let me look at the symbology on the card here. It's actually, we have a fairy. She's smiling. She's happy. She's in nature. She's got a coin in her hand here. So again, it's almost like you're using the law of attraction to manifest something new, along with the Fool card or the Dreamer card, as you start to follow a new path or move in a new direction or make a new decision for yourself in your life. It's interesting that in this card there's a lot of books surrounding her. If you can see, there's books down here and there's books over here. And books are about information, right? Books can provide us with some sort of information. Mercury retrograde, we don't have all the information yet, so the information is starting to be provided now. And I think with Mercury retrograde connecting with Neptune, magically we're going to be getting some messages. Magically there's going to be information coming in, whether it be from other people or from our guides and angels or from our internal intuitive self. There's, you know, these books are going to provide, symbolically speaking, some sort of information that we're needing to be able to move forward in this new direction, on this new path, or make a decision. And it's a good one, you know. Obviously the Ace of Autumn or Ace of Pentacles is a very positive indication that there's something good that's starting to manifest here. Now there was a card that came out with the Ace of Autumn, so let's go ahead and take a look at that one. Okay, we have another Autumn card. So this is the King of Autumn. You know, this is either signifying aspects within yourself that need to be developed or need to be expressed, or this can be about another person, whether it be a family member, business associate. In fact, the King of Autumn or King of Pentacles could oftentimes signify some sort of business venture, or someone that you're, you know, networking with that's in business, that's supporting you in some way or helping you in some way. Let's read what's on the card. The keywords at the top here says compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. That's what the King of Autumn, that's what the energies that you should exude in this week are. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. The message at the bottom, be assertive when it comes to what you know is right, everything going your way, a good person or company to work for. So if you're looking into a new job, a new business, or you're planning on starting a new business, which this, you know, the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Autumn with the King of Autumn, and the King is the leader, right? The King is the most mature of the cards here, with the Page, the Knight, the Queen, the King. The King is the most mature, and the King is the leader. So this is about taking charge and being a leader and making something happen. Now again, whether this is you or whether this is signifying somebody else, this is talking about moving forward with something, and whatever that something is, it's going to be really good again. It says everything is going right, everything's going your way. Here we have a windfall of blessings, a windfall of something coming in here. So this is good because, you know, one thing I didn't say with Mercury retrograde this week, it actually goes to direct motion next week. So we have that spring equinox, sun going into Aries, signifying new beginnings this week, and then next week Mercury's finally going to go direct, and then the ball will really start to roll. So we might have to have a little bit of patience here. Again, with the Two Pentacles card, it's third dimensional reality, and sometimes there's a timing factor with third dimensional reality. But so far, we have a lot of positive indications here with the spring equinox week that things are going to start happening. Now, the king is very self-assured, very confident, again, very charismatic, makes things happen, makes decisions, you know. And again, I think that whether it's being assertive with another person or just taking charge and taking, like, owning your own authority and being your own leader is going to help move you forward this week. Let's take a look at the last card. Okay, so we end with the Major Arcana. It's Major Arcana 14. In this deck, it's called Balance. In the traditional tarot, it's called Temperance. And temperance is always about, well, staying in balance, for one. And temperance is also a little bit about having to have patience. Staying balanced, having patience as things start to unfold and move forward. The Major Arcana number 14. 14 is a karmic number in numerology. And sometimes that 14 energy, which reduces to a 5, wants to move quickly, wants to move fast, has a lot of ideas, has a lot of things that they're juggling and doing at the same time. But that number 4, part of the 14, says, wait a minute, slow down. Take your time a little bit. Don't try to rush things too much, okay? Let's read what's at the bottom of this card. It says, take everyone's input into consideration. Merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Remember, we were talking about solutions earlier. Take your time, there's no need to rush. So it actually does say, take your time, there's no need to rush. And that's, again, because Mercury is still retrograde. It's connecting to Neptune. It's going to bring us more information, spiritually speaking, energetically speaking, magically speaking. But again, until it goes direct next week, and you know, it's going to take some time before it moves into Aries, but once it also moves into Aries along with the sun, it's really, things are really going to start to unfold. But even with the spring equinox this week, we're going to start feeling better, feeling more confident, feeling more energized, you know, happy, joyous, etc., abundant. And we just need to stay balanced here as things start to unfold. Let me see if there's anything else that I get here. You know, I feel like there's security matters that a lot of people are dealing with. I just see the red that's coming from the lion's mouth here. The lion signifies strength and confidence, but also gentleness as well, and playfulness too. If you have a sense of playfulness about your life and what's going on in your life, it's going to assist with not only your level of confidence, but it'll assist in things unfolding more rapidly. And there's some red energy, I don't know what to say, a red liquid or red energy coming out of the lion's mouth and into the cup that the woman is holding here. So the red signifies the root chakra and all of the issues of our security, our emotional security, our financial security. Living situations is a sense of security, career situation, a sense of security. So I feel like a lot of us are needing to stay balanced. And again, waiting a week or two here as Mercury goes direct next week to see how things are going to start panning out. But again, with that full moon in Libra, endings and new beginnings happening all at the same time, remember. Now let's take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So again, we have a new deck called the Energy Oracle Cards deck. I think I used it once in one of the previous readings. Looks like this on the back. I'm going to kind of try not to look at the camera because I can see some of the cards on the bottom. But the first stone of choice was the Bridge Lemurian Seed Crystal. So I'm just going to give this a little shuffle here and just kind of eyeball the card that wants to come out. And this card is sticking up for me. So for those of you that chose the Lemurian Seed Crystal, Door to Spirit. Oh, I love it. Okay, so you're opening a doorway. This is interesting because I feel like this goes along with the Dreamer card. The Dreamer card. Neptune is about the dream. Neptune is the spiritual realm. Neptune is all about, you know, spirit, the universe. And here we have the door to spirit. So you're supposed to open, I feel like using your meditation, using your visualization, using your imagination, open the doorway to what it is that you would, love to have in your life. What do you imagine that would bring you joy and happiness and abundance and prosperity? And there's going to be magical answers coming in, magical energies coming in as this door to spirit is opened up. There's actually a dove coming through the door, a lot of sparkling energies behind it. So I feel like it's a messenger. All birds are messengers, okay? When we talk about animal totems, the birds are messengers. And we have a dove, a white dove. White is the color of spirit, universe, God source energy, all that is. It's a magical energy. It's a truth energy. It's a pure energy. So here we have, again, whether it's messages with the dove or abundance, prosperity, and blessings with the magic coming through the door of spirit. So you're going to have some magical answers. You're going to have some magical experiences, I feel, happening this week. So pay attention. Really pay attention to, conversations and what you see and what you feel as you move throughout this week. Okay, for those of you that chose the chrysocolla egg, let's give this a little shuffle. And asking for the chrysocolla card to show itself. Okay, this one's really calling my attention here. Angel of Balance. Okay, isn't that interesting? Because we had Temperance, or the Balance card, Major Arcana number 14, talking about having to have a little bit of patience, stay balanced, look at all aspects of a situation, listen to everybody's viewpoints. And here we have the Angel of Balance as well. So it's just really a reiteration. Stay balanced with your masculine and feminine, which is about taking charge, taking an action, making something happen, with being receptive and allowing and listening and just being still. I feel like you have to have that balance between the masculine and feminine. Also stay balanced because there might be some interesting endings and new beginnings and redirections and changes going on with the full moon at 0 degrees of Libra and the sun moving into Aries. So there might be some, I don't know if I want to call it upheaval, but there might be some things that are happening that really maybe knocks you off your center, at least for the short term. I also was drawn to the moon here, so I feel like there's something about moon cycles. So it might be, since we have a full moon this week, that we're waiting until the new moon 2 weeks from now, or the next full moon a month from now, before something starts to come to fruition and something starts to come back into balance, karmically speaking, or within your life, basically. So pay attention to that. Okay. The pyramids in the background, to me, are a symbol of power and magic. So those keywords are also a part of your message for the week. Owning your power and immersing yourself in the magic of creation and the magic of new beginnings. And then for those of you that chose the citrine cluster, okay, so I almost thought a card was coming out and Spirit said, no, not that one. So this one's calling my attention. Goddess of the moon. So the moon, the full moon, is very important for those that chose the citrine. And maybe, again, not just this full moon, but perhaps the next new moon and the next full moon. There's something about the moon cycles here to pay attention to. And not only paying attention to what's happening around those new and full moon cycles, but also, again, putting out your intentions. The full moon, again, full moons are a time of completion, so make sure you're doing some sort of a releasing or letting go of something, whether it be tangible or just as far as energetically. What belief systems, what thoughts, what ideas do you need to let go of? But remember that that full moon is at 0 degrees of Libra, and 0 degrees is about a new beginning, and the sun moving into Aries is about a new beginning. So also, besides what do you need to complete and let go of and release and heal, also pay attention to and put out intentions about what you want to plant new seeds about. What do you want to create? What do what's the new beginnings that are coming in? And you might want to speak it or write it or do some sort of ceremony with the full moon this week regarding this. Okay, and pay attention to your intuition. The moon is always about intuition, the magic and the mystery of creation. So I hope everyone has liked this weekly angel card reading. Thank you so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel for the weekly and monthly readings and for my soul reflection readings. Thank you for sharing, subscribing, commenting, and thank you for joining me on Facebook under Colleen Lemma and also under my business page, Sacred Soul Empowerment. Thank you all for all of your support. I love you all, and I send you all many angel blessings and much love and light. Namaste.